Traders, Brian here. I'm the founder of A Plus Setups, and this video is a remake from Friday's indicator package giveaway. It was the first indicator package giveaway that we've conducted, and the recording that I made had a lot of problems with it. So anyway, I just scrapped that instead of trying to repair it, and thought I'd just do a remake here. Number one, I wanted to let everybody know what we're giving away. Go through the brief demonstration for the packages, each of the indicators in the package, and then just to let everybody know that we're going to be doing these periodically in the future. So just stay tuned. Here is our website, and join our next giveaway. You just stay tuned, come in there. I'll announce it, but this is where you will register for the next giveaway. More to follow there. All right, let's go ahead and talk about what we actually did Friday. All right, this is the package that we gave away. All of this is included in the package. Plus, there are videos, there are PDFs, there is a plethora of information on all of these tools that we use. And, for the winners, please read those PDFs. We build a lot of really neat stuff with some real neat concepts, and it's important for you to understand the concepts. If you just download the tools and that's all you're doing, it's useless. Let me just save you the problem. Absolutely useless. If you don't understand the concept of why we built what we built, then it's not worth it at all. You'll trash these things as soon as you get them. We don't build indicators to build indicators. We don't modify indicators to put our spin on it to say we did this. We build stuff and we modify things to fill gaps inside of our framework. And that's it. I'm not an indicator site. I don't build stuff like that. We build a system, a couple of systems that we use and trade in our real-time personal accounts, and that's why we build these things and others. So we operate inside of this reason, when, how framework. This is the package we give away. These are each of the items that are in there, and like I said, PDFs and videos are part of that package as well. Now, the winners, when we give away this, you have free upgrades for life. And you'll be given an access to a special Discord channel where you can download everything and get your free upgrades as we move through time. All right, let's talk through each one of these. The first one is going to be, let me pull a chart over here, the Gemify order line. Now, I can't really show you this. This is after market hours. But what this tool does, once you build an ATM, it will tell you how many ticks away you are, points away, what the dollar value is of all of your ATM entry mechanisms. So it's a really neat tool to use to just let you know where your resting orders set, what those are in tick values, point values, dollar values, so forth. Really neat. The next thing is Ninja bar status. That's this tool right here. And the Ninja bar status just simply lets you know these are Ninja Rinko bars. And the Ninja bar status lets you know where the next bar is going to close at, either on the high side or the low side. This is very important for us. I love trading range type bars for intraday trading. I think it's a huge advantage knowing where the bar is going to close. And that's why we use Ninja Rinko and range bars for a lot of our intraday trading. All right, so that's the Ninja status bar. And if you're like, well, what else does it work on? Well, here's a shot of a range bar chart for the NASDAQ, and you can see it tells you where the bar is going to close at. Okay, so that's part of the package. The next thing is the actual Ninja Rinko bars. Some of you may like what we're doing, but you don't know where to get the Ninja Rinko bars. It's part of the package. That's these types of bar charts right here. I like these because they're very symmetrical. They cut out a lot of noise, enables us to build some really neat trading methods. All right, the next tool is the S007 levels indicator. Here's the S007. Now, what does this tool do? Now, I'm going to talk about the rest of these tools and how they fit into our framework, which is the reason, when, and how. The reason, just to describe everything, is why you're looking long or short. For us in scalping, it's a math model. It's your trend model. That's your bias model. Okay, that's the reason. And then we have a when aspect, which is timing. When should I be looking for a setup inside of the bias model? And then the final thing is how. The how we definitely have figured out. That's our categorized setups. We'll talk about those in a minute. But that's how we're going to talk about these things going forward. Now, where does the S007 level fit in all of this? Well, it's a supporting tool. It just provides you with market-generated information. So it's a really neat tool that Richard, our programmer, built in for us to allow us to populate our charts very, very quickly with a multitude of levels. So if you like a lot of different levels, I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm just going to give you one example here. Now we have inputs for, we can populate the levels here in these fields. We can open this up. Sorry. Check that, and we've got more fields we can put levels in. It's really limited to your own preferences. And then we use daily expected moves every day, so we populate those in here. Now you're like, okay, big deal, indicator that you can put levels into. But what makes it really cool is, let me pull up the Discord here. All right, our Discord channel. Let's go to, these are some of the levels that we go in and pull out every day. Let's just say we want to load this up. It's a lot of different levels there. You're like, oh man, I got to type all those in. Nope. We copy those. We come back over here, and the indicator populates a little tab on top of your chart. Let's close this out. Sorry about that. Let's drop those levels in, right click, paste, apply, and there's your chart. There's your levels on the chart. Go back to the S007, see it populated all those in there, in just a mouse click. All right, so you can change the colors, you can do whatever you want to, line styles, you can change the labels. Don't have to be anything specific. These are all defaults. You can plot the mid-range. You can show the prices. Just all kinds of neat little features built in. So that's it for the S007 level. Now I'm going to deselect this, pull that off the chart. All right, levels disappear. Okay, the next thing we're going to look at is the A+ volume profile. Now, we did not invent volume profile. I want to make sure that's clear. We just made some modifications for our own use. So let's go ahead, let's activate this so you can see it, and let's just walk through the tool. Now, we know volume profile, the way we use it is we look at the levels generated from the prior day's trading. And what's really critical for us is the point of control, the value area, high and low. So nothing new there. But what we did is you can also plot extended trading hour levels, the regular trading hour levels. You can show historical levels. These are all default settings, but you can change those. Change the values. You can show the box. So let's go ahead and click that. Let it calculate. And okay, there we go. So here's the box from, this is Friday's action, and this is the value area from the previous day. So there's all kinds of different rules to use on the value area, but we can simply with a mouse click draw the box in there to highlight that so that it's prominent on your chart if that's important to you. So anyway, that's just a neat feature that we built in, save me from having to draw the box all the time. Let's go back in. Let me see, what else can we do here? We can show high, low, show open, close. Midnight open is a neat feature. I like that. That's be surprised how many times that's the dividing line for the market for the day. It's that midnight open. I don't know what's prominent about it, but it may not be anything, but it's definitely there. So, all right, let's go ahead and deselect this, move to the next one. Let's uncompress the time frame here just a little bit. Now, the next thing we're going to look at, so where does the volume profile fit into our framework? Reason, when, how. Again, it's another supporting tool, but it can, on occasions, be the reason you're looking for a trade. Whenever, and I'm not going to get into volume profile rules, but it typically, I'll say 85-90% of the time, it's just a supporting document to give us really good levels to check on, to put context around the market. But the other small percentage of the time, it can be the reason you're looking for a trade. And I'll leave it at that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at is the A+ 108 indicator. Now, before I should have done a better job of consolidating these tools right here. But I'm going to jump down to the how part of our framework. Now, in the how framework, we have the intraday trend spectrum. We're trend pullback traders, scalpers on NASDAQ futures. That's what we specialize in. That's what we hang our hat on. Inside of that trend pullback spectrum, I've painstakingly categorized and put statistical profiles around different pullbacks that cover the trend pullback spectrum in the NASDAQ. So we have shallow pullbacks, deeper and the deepest. So that's the jiggle, the reverse mullet, the 108 EMA, what we're going to talk about next, and the puncture trade. That's 4 setups. Now, 3 of the 4 for this giveaway are already inside of our flagship trading model. We're going to include the 108, in the upcoming months because it's integral to what we're doing right now. All right, so let me go in here and I'm just going to highlight just the 108 setup. Now the color bars you see on here, I just left those on here. It's for something else we're going to talk about in just a little bit. All right, these arrows are the 108 entry signals. Now, this is not, I did not cherry pick this. You can see this would be a losing trade for us. Winner, 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 winner. Okay, I didn't stop this intentionally right there. Just rolled to it. Winner, loser, winner, 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 winner. These are raw signals, okay? These are the 108 signals. You're not taking all these signals. That's not how our framework operates. I'm just showing you that it prints these signals. Now it's up to us to include things in our framework to minimize the number of signals. So like we're really interested in when the layer 1, the trend model, which is the background's being painted here by an indicator we're going to talk about in a few, when it's green and we get the first signal, yeah, we're definitely interested in that. When it's red, we get the first signal, we're definitely interested in that. And that's how we kind of use this. All right, but this is the 108. And I'm just going to leave it at that because the 108 is going to be included in the flagship here very soon. And when it gets included in the flagship, all of those features that are built into that indicator are going to be, they're going to absorb the 108 into that very same structure. So we'll just say all these are black and white rules built around specific criteria that generate the signals. All of our signals have signal plots, which can be used by Predator X, Markers Plus, or any other thing that can grab signal plots with. Okay, so that's the 108. Now let's talk about the Piggle. What is the Piggle indicator? Let's see. I didn't load that up. It's part of your package. I don't have it in my, because it's already in the flagship model as the jiggle. It's a shallow pullback. It is part of it's a standalone indicator in case you want to look at it. It's one of the most, oh great, we have one right here. Super neat. It's one of the most robust raw setups that we have without any filtered effects. I mean, and literally 24 hours a day, Globex and regular trading hours. It is the most robust setup in a raw form that we have. This is the Piggle. The Piggle is a component of the jiggle. Jiggle is a shallow pullback. The Piggle is simply a 1-bar pullback while our center line, in this case bullish, is bullish, and then it immediately reverses. That's the Piggle. Works on the opposite as well for a 1-bar pullback against a red and then a reversal. So anyway, that's the Piggle. You got that standalone, but that's also part of the indicator package. Now let's talk about a very unique indicator here. Let me bring this chart up. And it's going to be the net change. This is the net change. It just plots the net change of, you can plot 4. I just have 3 indices up right now, and I really only look at 2. Here you can see yellow is NASDAQ. I'm sorry, yellow is S&P. You can see the legend over here on the right. Yellow is S&P, white is NASDAQ, and magenta is the Russell. So you might be saying, well, so what? Well, I use this. I had Richard build this for us because I use net change every single day in my analysis. Now the tool here is the red panel at the bottom tells you when net change for the NASDAQ is less than 0. So it would make sense on a red net change day that you're just looking for short trades. You're like, well, what about these long trades? Well, how many trades are you looking for in a day? I mean, I'm just looking for one for my personal accounts. I just want one trade. So anything that can neck this down, you can put a longer term momentum on this, and when it lines up with that, you're just looking for short trades. That's it. Don't worry about the longs in a day when it's, you can see here it's real spotty, but now we're into a green day. So you start getting some movement up. I mean, again, how many setups are you looking for? If you're a trade addict, if you can't stop hitting the button, I mean, that's a problem I can't solve with an indicator. Okay, there's no indicator that can solve that problem. That's something that you got to deal with. But anyway, this is one application of using the net change. Now, how do I use it? Let me roll back through here, see if I can find an example. Oh, I probably went right over an example. I'm looking for something very specific. Yeah, like right here. This piques my interest. This is where I want to start putting pairs trades on. When the NASDAQ is like less than -1% and it's below the S&P, I want to buy MNQs and sell MESs. Here we get into this area here. I want to add this area. I want to add, because we're 1 to 1.2%, I want to add MNQs alongside sell MESs. You're like, why would you do that? Well, it's a pairs trade. Pairs trades can reduce your overall directional risk by 85%. It allows you to hold long positions a lot easier than just being outright net long in the futures markets or stocks. I do a lot of stocks pairs trading as well. So anyway, you're holding through all these. NASDAQ is a higher beta instrument than the S&P. You always, my bet is that the NASDAQ is going to regain dominance and overtake the S&P. And when that net change flips, you're ringing the register. That is a huge component to my annual profits every year in my swing trading. I mean, this is a random statement, but I don't even remember what year I had a losing MNQ and MES pairs trade. I don't do them every day, nor do I do them every week. You have to have the right environment to put these trades on. So you can't hold these in, you can't do these in prop firm accounts. You have to have personal accounts to do this in. But that's the net change. It's a really neat tool. Let's just take a look at the indicator so you have some essay on that. All right, so this is it. You can select what you want to see. You can deselect, take the Russell off of there. Everything's feature rich. You can change everything. You can show, we have momentum lines built in. Let me show you that, which is all based off of the NASDAQ. So again, you're on a green day. We've got momentum lines built in here. What are you doing during this time period? Green line, bullish net change. You would be looking for long trades. Green line, crossover, you're looking for long trades. You're like, well, how do I deal with the short trades? Well, why don't you just step aside? I mean, you don't have to trade every 35 seconds in the market. This just helps you narrow down the search for what you're looking for. Green day gets really green here. Nice. The momentum's strong through here. The green. These are, like I said, momentum lines in the net change. And you can build systems off of this. Net change probes below while fast is above slow, and the momentum didn't buckle. That's where my tack point is. There's all kinds of things you can do with this one little thing, and forget the other 75 indicators you're trying to figure out. Again, find something that resonates with you, and don't ever and just don't trade anything else. Now you'd have to read the PDF on all this stuff right here. We also have this for silver as well. But again, read the PDF. I'm going to deselect the EMAs. Roll this back. All right, now the other tool I want to show you while we're here is I want to show you the triple focus. Now, we use the triple focus for two things. I'm going to show you one of those. This is the triple focus indicator. The first thing that we use triple focus for is divergence trades. Again, let's go in here. Here's a divergence, and right there's the A+7. You see right here, the dot, that's a reverse mullet. So you wait for the divergence. We only trade divergences from extremes. The indicator identifies the extremes by turning the indicator white. And I'm not going into the rules, but that's the divergence. And then we just look for the first A plus setup. What we're doing now is we're incorporating the GHL color bars to divergence and, oh my goodness, and the GHL flip for the down move. Then take the next A plus setup for the double whammy. Okay, that's how we're using triple focus. Works tops and bottoms exactly the same. So anyway, that's that tool. Now the second way we use triple focus, you see the panel is green here. You see that slight red right there? Well, that's also on this chart. We have the triple focus acting as layer 1. This is our reason to be looking for long trades. This is our flagship model printing all these arrows. Okay, so that's how we use the triple focus. You can color shade the whole chart, the panel. I just leave the panel shaded over here. This is my divergence model. And then over here is our trend pullback model. All right, bottom picker panel. This is really unique. There's a couple of tools I have used for the last 15 years in swing trading that we've migrated over into our scalping spectrum program, and top and bottom picker is one of them. There are several uses for them. The top and bottom picker works on the weekly time frame, daily, hourly, minute, second, ticks, range bars, and then Zorinko. There's different setups for each one of those, and I have a PDF on it, but something new we're doing is, here's bottom picker panel telling you potential end to the down move, and we take the break on the GHL flip. Bottom picker, GHL flip, take it. How many of these are you doing every day? Well, that's up to you and your trade plan. If you're sitting here doing this all day long, I think it's kind of ridiculous, but who am I to judge your trade plan? I'm looking for one trade. Top picker, take the flip and down. So that's the bottom picker. Now, how does it work on other? I don't have my daily charts. Here's range bar charts. Here's a bullish move. We got all three center lines above each, in a bullish configuration, bottom picker. And GHL flip, so you figure out, how you want to activate this right here. Everything in a bearish configuration, top picker right there. And this is 54 tick range bar. If you like a 13 tick range bar, it works the same. If you like a 100 tick range bar, you don't have to change anything. Works the same. If you like a tick based, like a 500 tick, a 600 tick chart, yeah, it's the same procedure. Do you like daily, weekly, hourly setups on for swing trading? Slightly different configuration, which I have videos on. Okay, that's the top and bottom picker. It's part of the package. What have I not covered? Let's see. Oh yeah, the centerline method. Yeah, we were just looking at that. Let's cover that. So that's part of the package as well. This is the centerline method. It's that combined with the top and bottom picker is something I've used for almost 15 years. And it is the reason, when, how framework all built into one. So you'd have to look at all my videos, how I use this on my swing trading. But for scalping, you're just identifying tack points. Components of this are our centerline tools, the GHL color bars, the top and bottom picker. And you're just looking for the visual cues, which jump off the chart at me. That's why I've loved this forever. You're bullish. Everything's green. First attack point. Let's find a really good. Here's red. First attack point. Your attack points are the opposite color of what environment you're in. You're in a red environment here. It's very short in duration. Red environment, blue attack points. That one kind of negates right there. Green environment, red attack point. Here's a quick one. Green environment, red attack. Red environment, blue attack. So you get the idea. We're going to work on this at the end of the year and create a completely mechanical setup with that right there. So we're using the GHL color bars in a different configuration to color these than on the centerline method. Now, last thing is our A+ flagship model. The flagship model is the how we execute things. So in the future, the upgrades, what I'm going to say is next year, the flagship models are going to be everything. It will have layer 1 trend models built in, layer 2, the timing windows built in, and then of course we already have the how. The how is all of our setups that are firing. You're like, well, there's bullish and bearish all over the place. Yeah, but you're not taking every signal. You're minimizing things. Here, this first trade pullback is a combination 108 and jiggle setup. First setup here, again, combination 108 and jiggle. Again, all these things, another combo 108 and jiggle. It doesn't work like that all the time, but that just seems to be predominantly what's playing out right here on the first pullbacks. Here's a 108 and a reverse mullet. Here's one that wouldn't have worked for us. So you can just see, here's first pullbacks, a jiggle. For scalpers, I mean, this is it. It's just a reverse mullet. And you can see I'm looking at layer 1. I'm just looking at how to get into the trade. What's not available to you are timing windows. Those are only available for subscribers. Timing windows tell us when to look for a setup. So we may have a layer 1 backdrop and we may have a setup, but we're waiting for a specific window to open up before we look for our setups. So a jiggle, deeper pullback on 108. Let's get to that first. Here's the first pullback. The jiggle, first pullback here in the green is a puncture trade. So anyway, the flagship model is full of features. Let's just talk about those. You can define these, and there's a massive PDF that comes with this. We have the jiggle, the reverse mullet, puncture trade. Future upgrades is going to include the 108. Right now the 108 is separate. Please read the PDF to configure all this if you were a winner. You have all these filters that can be built in, and I have everything spelled out in the PDF. You can plot multiple EMAs on this. We have take profit lines to help you in your trading that show multiple levels. You can do take profits by ticks, by risk to reward. Let's apply just to show you what that looks like. So for example, for your after hours study, here's a jiggle with a 100 tick stop loss, a 22, a 40, and I think a 50 or a 60 tick take profit. So you can take a look at all those for your after hours studies and try to scope that down if you don't have any backtesting software. But wait a minute, Flagship actually has backtesting software built in, just to put you in the get you into the ballpark. I'm not going to go through that demonstration. It's in the manual, but we have a statistics panel. Once you click that and you configure it, there's instructions on how to configure it. There will be a backtesting panel that pops up here, and then it will show you what the theoretical backtests are of each of the setups inside of this. So it's a really neat feature. We also have setup status bar, part of the package. I won't move while I have this up, but this status setup status panel shows you when a jiggle's forming, whether bullish or bearish, reverse mullet, or puncture trade. So all that plus more is inside of this. I can't go through this. It would take me literally 2 hours or longer just to do a short-term version of the flagship model with all the features that are built in. All right, let me double check. I think I went through everything that's in the package here. So, hey, I hope this demonstration kind of shows you what all we're giving away. I hope this helps for the winners. If you're interested, check out the discounts we have. Love to see you in the room. If you have any questions, give me a shout at one of the contacts, the email that's posted at the end of this video. But as always, good luck in your trading. Hope to see you in the room. See you on the next video.